The new county council was sworn in right after the new year. Alice Howard of Port Royal, the only new member. Ladies Island's Paul Somerville will continue as chairman of the county council's 11 members. They all have an equal voice. One of those voices, Rick Caporale, who's represented our island for a number of years now. Rick, thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
You're welcome.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
All right, let's set the table for a busy 2015. What's your #1 priority?
I think for me, the #1 priority has to be the Jenkins Island traffic solutions. You know, we've been talking about a rear access road out of Windmill Harbor for about 5, 6, 7 years. I'd really like to see that done. Now, there's a whole lot of preliminaries that we have to go through because 278 is a state road, so the state has to be intimately involved with every plan and every facet of the plan. And it makes it very difficult for Gary Kubik and our traffic engineers that have to set this thing up, but that really is my #1 priority.
Okay. The Low Country Economic Alliance, which received a lot of funding from the county for business development projects, decided to disband at the end of this past year.
Yeah.
Where do you see the county heading now as it tries to grow our economy?
I think the key still is regionalism, and I've said that for years, so I'm hoping that what we do is that we take a good, hard, long look at the Southern Regional Development Alliance, led by Danny Black. What I'd really like to see is that even if county has to pay, for example, to get all of the local municipalities into it along with the county, I think we give them a lot of additional clout. And then finally, we have an umbrella that we can all work under. And I really think that's the key. I always have, because there's a lot of talent in the mix, but it's all working independently. We're not sharing information. We're not sharing resources. We're not sharing the creative energy of that whole group. And
so you'd like to bring, Hilton has its own group now, Bluffton has its own group, Beaufort has its own group. You'd like to have one group? And make it a little more regional, even adding in Jasper County, Mayford, for example?
And those are the folks that we really have to get in bed with. I mean, that's really the key for us. I mean, that's my only hesitation with the Southern Regional Alliance. You know, the membership would normally be for 5 years, but Jasper County's membership, I think, runs out in 2.5. So I think the ideal for us would be to get into the alliance and make our membership, you know, what is it, concurrent with Jasper County's, because I think in the long run we have to partner with Jasper County. I think that's when we'll see the greatest level of success. All
right, you fought hard to keep taxes down, but county employees have not had a raise in a while. The schools always need more money. Something may have to give this year, huh?
I don't think there's any way around a tax increase this year, next year as well, and maybe even the 3rd year. And if you look at all of the things that people are putting on the table now, I think you might come to the conclusion that we're probably going to be going to the limit of the millage cap for maybe the next 5 years. What's really missing here, the missing piece, and if I had some other priority other than Windmill Harbor, if I had one other priority, it would be for a really detailed 5-year spending plan on the operations side. That's what people need to see. I'm not opposed to spending a little bit more money. I'm not opposed to a slightly higher level of taxation. What I am opposed to is big surprises coming out of the blue, and that's really unnecessary.
And you think the economy now has bounced back enough that we can handle it?
Well, that's what people think, you know, and so that makes it ultimately even more dangerous, because, you know, when you open the door to spending $1, then somebody's got an idea to spend 2, and then 3, and then 3 becomes 5, and 5 becomes 10. So what you really have to be cautious against is that tendency to think, well, we're out of the woods now. That's really not the point. The point is, you know, how much money do you want to pay to live in a $200,000 or $300,000 house? Do you want to pay $5,000 a year? If we're not careful, that's what the taxes on a $200,000 house will be in a few years.
Okay. Well, now what about stories concerning raises for you and your council counterparts? You're paid a whole lot less than county councilors in the other major counties in the state.
Yeah, for the most part, that's true. What came out of the Finance Committee and what we recommended was a slight increase in the stipend we get for meetings. We don't get, you know, we have a basic stipend. It's about $11,000 a year. We also get $40 for every meeting we attend. And that does not include county council meetings. It includes committee meetings. It includes meetings with constituents and all the other things that we do. Our other committee meetings, I serve on 3 committees. I attend sometimes the meetings of all 5 committees. So what we wanted to do was raise that from $40 to $50, and we also wanted to take the cap off. Right now we have a cap on You can be paid for up to 144 meetings. We wanted to raise that to 180. There never used to be a cap on the number of meetings that you could attend. We put it on, I think, about maybe 4 years ago or so, in response to what we thought were maybe some abuses by some council members, and also to save money.
Sure.
So.
Boy, that's a half-time job. Real quickly, the USCB campus on Hilton Head Island has obviously received a lot of interest here on the island. Most of it is, if I'm right, between the city, the town of Hilton Head, and the college. What's the county's impact on all this?
What the town asked us to do was to extend their TIF, the Tax Increment Financing District, for another 10 years. It's been in effect for 15 years. It's not really clear to me why they haven't been able to do more since they've had 15 years to do it. But they asked us to extend it 10 years, and council did vote to do that. And what that's going to mean is that's going to siphon off about $2.5 million a year for the next 10 years. So that's county's contribution to the campus.
All right. Rick, thanks so much for your time.
You're
Looking
welcome.
forward to talking to you a whole lot more often as we wrestle with these issues in
Me
the coming
too.
year. It'll be a busy one.
Thanks.
All right, still to come. Let's relax a little now that the holiday hustle is over. Nancy Watts has Just the Recipe coming up next.